Morning, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, welcome to the press conference with Bradley Wiggins for the Wetterse Denry festival today. As briefed before with you, all questions have to be asked in English and will be answered in English. We have a 15-minute general press conference on which Bradley Wiggins will answer the questions you will put. He is backed with Michel Vaarten, who's responsible of all the teams and the races here, and Olivier van Album, who is the president of our cycling federation. So, your questions, gentlemen, please.
Bradley, how are you doing after the Tour de France win and the Olympic gold medal?
Yeah, a lot's changed, yeah, a lot. I can't really go out of my house anymore.
No, but we saw pictures of you in the newspaper, and so apparently there are some photographers who are following you.
Yeah, no, a lot's changed, you know. It's, you know, I left home nobody really, and then came home someone in everyone else's eyes, you know what I mean? So it's strange to get used to that. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a whirlwind since the Olympics, you know. I've been really busy doing things, but yeah, I don't know. It hasn't really still sunk. I kind of forgot I won the Tour, you know, because everything was concentrated on the Olympics, and then we did that, and then that was what was fresh in everyone's minds, was the Olympics. So the Tour was forgotten about really quickly, and then the racing carried on, and then you have to think about where you're going to start racing again, and then after 2 weeks, I think about I better start riding my bike again, and then before you know it, you're here. 6 weeks have gone, and yeah, it's just all happening so fast, you know.
Did you have some time to enjoy it?
No, not. Enjoy it in the first few days after the Olympics, and then it wears off, and the reality is that you have to try and get back to normal life and training and things like that, and that's when it gets really hard. So.
And what are your plans for the weeks to come?
Well, I'm doing the Tour of Britain next week. And then after that, I think I'm down for the World Championship road race, but...
No way you will do it?
Yeah, I think, I'm going to start, yeah. Yeah, just trying to keep some sort of... just so I don't stop my season now, because if I stop now, then, you know, it's a long time to be off. So I think I've kept training, and I've kept trying to keep as fit as I can, and so just to do those races and play a part for my teammates that want to do well in those races, I think that's just as important as just because I haven't got any goals left, it doesn't mean I could stop. You know, there's always someone who wants to do something. So if I can play a part in that, then I'll.
So team time trial?
No, I'm not doing that. No, just the road race. I think at the moment.
Only the road race, not even individual.
No, I'm Olympic champion. I don't really need to.
Would be nice in the same year.
Yeah, it would be, but you know the reality is, since the Olympics, time-wise, as I said, I've been so. It's very. If I can't do the training to justify doing my performance, I don't want to just turn up and finish 4th or 5th. Okay. If I go, it's with the same intensity as I've raced all season, and I've set a precedent with every race I've done this year, which is winning it.
Yeah.
So it's all or nothing, and if I can't do the training, which I haven't been able to do through other commitments, then I don't want to go and just do the Worlds and finish 3rd or something, you know. So the reality is different to everyone's expectations, you know. So
the look on your face when you talked about the road race is like it will be even difficult to.
Yeah, I just you know, because it's I haven't had a lot of time to put the training in that I need to do to be competitive in it. But if I can play a part in some way, because we have 9 riders as well, so if I could play a part in, you know, I don't envisage being there at the end challenging for the world title, but maybe for the first half of the race, if there's a role to do or whatever, then, you know, I will do it. But so yeah, it's different because, you know, I've gone from winning the Tour in the Olympics to feeling so unfit, and you know, I've tried to do as much as I can, but you know, a lot of other things have taken over, and you know, motivation is a big thing as well. You know, I've achieved so much for what I've been working for so long. So.
You feel unfit for the moment?
Well, no, just you know, drinking and everything else. All those things take over, you know, and going to different things that you to enjoy your success, you know, and like tonight I have to fly straight back because I have an awards dinner tomorrow for GQ magazine, and those sort of things you just have no time for when you're training for the Tour de France. So it's easy to say yes to those things when it's all done. So there's a lot of other things like that are commitments really that I do now. So tomorrow's a day off the bike, you know, whereas normally you'd be out on training or whatever. So it's just finding the time at the moment to do the necessary training, but that doesn't mean I can't perform at a level to help others, you know. So.
You say yes to all the things that you couldn't say yes?
No, not all the things. I turned a lot of things down, you know. But there are some things that the profile's raised so much now in the UK the last couple of weeks, and for a cyclist that for the future and that it's there are some things that.
But I mean in life, things like drinking, eating, things that you.
Well, I think the sacrifice that I made for such a long period of time is, and my family have made, it's nice to just be able to do normal things that you take for granted every day, that I can do now.
Like?
Going to the park with your children, or going for a pizza with your children and being able to have a pizza with them. Or just little things that, I couldn't do for so long because I had to train for the Tour de France. But now that's gone. So now I'm like, oh yeah, so I'll have a beer, yeah, why not? Or at the dinner or whatever. So just all those little things that were missing for so long in my life,
Do you think you can do it once again next year?
I don't know really at this stage. It's still really, it's just September now. So the Tour finished 5 weeks ago. And I haven't had time to reflect on the Tour yet because I've still been on this whirlwind since the Olympics, because the Tour finished and we were straight into the Olympics, so you had no time to think about the Tour. Then the Olympics happened, then off the back of the Olympics there's all these things going on, and I've had no time to kind of sort of think about next year or reflect on what's already happened this year, and the season isn't finished yet, so you're still that process will normally happen in October when you finish the season, you've had a break, and then you start thinking about what you want to do and when you start training and all that. So, but at this stage, I haven't even thought about next year really in Tour de France sense, because my goal was always to achieve it once. It's never to. I never thought, well, if I win it, then I'll try and win it again. It's always been about winning it the first time, and then you reflect on it and see how you feel for next year and whatever. So.
During Tour de France in Belgian press, there was a statement that you have a special sympathy for Tom Bonen and perhaps would like to ride with him one day, even a 6 day. Is that true?
No, he's just one of my favourite riders in the peloton. Even through all his controversy over the years, and I've always I think people like that are good for this sport. They're characters within cycling, and this sport lacks a lot of those characters, and he's one of them really, and I think he's done so much for the sport only in Belgium, but in the UK as well. People worship him, so, and it's a shame there's not more people like that. It's in this sport because that's even with all the controversy over the years. But so yeah, he's just always been one of my favourite. I was a junior with him as well, so I kind of have grown up and seen him through the ranks, and yeah.
Why did you choose for this race, the first race after the Olympics? Why?
I don't know. Just I turned all the other races down straight after the Tour and after the Olympics because I needed to go and spend time with my family and that. And then it's got sort of 5 weeks down the line now, and I thought, it's a good time to start racing again now. And I've known Michel for a long, long time, so it just sort of happened like that, really, and it just felt like the right time. I felt ready to come back now to it, to race again. So.
And maybe the connection with Ghent?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but not. It wasn't so much. You're never far away from Ghent in Belgium, so it's not a big country. So it's yeah.
Going back to the Worlds, is there anybody in the British team that can become world champion?
I think depending on how some of them come out of the Vuelta, maybe. I think someone like Steve Cummings could be an outside chance. Obviously, he won a stage now in the Vuelta, but so yeah, there's always someone. You never know in cycling, so we'll see. I don't know what the goal is on the day, but as I say, we have 9 riders, which is more than we've ever had. So I'm sure there'll be someone in there that's up for it. Yeah, but again, it depends how he comes out the Vuelta. Obviously, there's still a week to go, I mean, I haven't been following, though. I don't even know how he's getting on, but I presume he's still in the Vuelta. So I think if he's still in the Vuelta and he finishes, that may be a goal of his. I haven't seen anything to do with cycling the last 6 weeks. It's been
2 more questions, please.
Nothing. No. I mean, I don't follow it anyway. I don't really watch racing cycling anymore like I used to, and I've enjoyed the tour was for me it was such a big, almost a drain in a way, the press and the media and having to explain myself all the time, that when it was finished I despised the media side of cycling for a while, and the Olympics was fantastic because you're really protected from the media at the Olympics. You can't get anywhere, and then as soon as the Olympics was done, you know, not having to deal with cycling press for a long time has been really refreshing and nice. So I don't read anything to do with cycling on Twitter or anything like that. I just follow music bands and things on Twitter, so it's not like it's there in front of me all the time. I don't really watch television. I don't buy newspapers. I don't go on the internet. So it's I just have other stuff in my life that occupies that, and I don't really. I haven't spoke to any of my teammates since the tour and that. So it's nice being a bit ignorant in a way, not knowing what's going on. So as I say, yeah, I know the Vuelta's on at the moment, but I don't really know who's winning it or anything like that.
Final question, please.
Yeah, you're ready to say thanks to your teammates in the World Championships?
Yeah, I mean, just I'm in the Tour of Britain next week. I'll get back there and see a few of them, you know, and enough time's passed now to reflect a little bit on what they did for me. So it's nice to be nice to see him again, and yeah, because a lot of people finish a bike race and they send a text message to the teammates, I can't thank you enough, all that shit. But that's not really my thing. I'd rather do it a bit more heartfelt and see them and give them some money and a watch or whatever, you know, and just have a bit more meaningful, you know. So it'd be nice to see Cav and those guys next week, and as I say, the season's not finished, so you know there's always a role to play, and you know I'm the Tour de France winner 1 week and domestique the next, you know. So it's yeah, that's the good thing about cycling.
Have you got any feeling or opinion about Lance Armstrong possibly losing his 7 Tour de France titles?
I mean, I don't know enough about the facts of what's happened with that. I haven't read enough. It's not something I read about. I mean, the whole thing is a little bit sad that it's happened so far down the line. And not necessarily sad that he loses them, maybe, but it's what happens now. You know, what actually happens that in those period now, those years. Do they go to the 2nd place or the 3rd place or the 5th place, and there's a bit of a void now in cycling in that period now, and I guess it's sad that those years of cycling are maybe forgotten now a little bit, and will stand for nothing. Have been a bit of a waste of time for everyone involved. So it's more a case of the cycling as a sport now, what cycling as a sport will face now, as opposed to the individuals that are maybe that are being punished for that now. But actually, what the outcome of the sport will be for this now. You know, a lot of people are probably very happy now that they've got what they wanted, or you know, this, that, and the other. But which is fair enough. You know, if that's the rules are the rules. But it's just what happens to the sport now. Where does it go from now, you know?
What do we have to learn from that?
I think, you know, cycling's... I mean, cycling is a shit sport at times, you know, because it's done this to itself, you know, the riders in the past and teams and things. And I had to put up with all that, the results of that in this year's Tour de France. So I'm the one who has to sit here and answer all the questions about it. And I've made my statement very clear as to why I don't do it. I'm not a preacher. I don't expect everyone else to follow me or whatever. You know, I do what I do. I'll leave this sport in a few years' time and be done with it. You know, I'm not going to carry the can or, you know, expect everyone to be like me. But, you know, we all make our own decisions in life, really, and, you know, everyone's no different. And I was trying to explain that in the Tour as to my reasons why.
When can we call you sovereign?
I don't know, maybe never, eh? Who knows? Yeah.
Gold medal in Tour de France, really?
Well, I don't know. It's not really my thing, you know. No.
Not interested or?
Well, yeah, it'd be nice, but yeah, I don't know really. We'll see.
As briefed before, 2 cameras.